Welcome to Pioneer Preview. I'm Easton.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Jack.
And today we are reviewing the movie called Spider-Man 1. It was created by Sam Raimi with the star actors Tobey Maguire. I like to say that I think this movie was a pretty good origin story, I think. And the world building especially, because I feel like it was very, they introduced the characters pretty well.
I mean, to be honest, as one of the first comic movies, it didn't really have a lot of precedent before it, but now you can look back on it and see that it aged really well. The cinematography looks really well. It's kind of stylized like a comic, it has these very bright colors that I'm a big fan of.
Right.
And then as well as the story, the acting is very good. Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, I'd say one of probably, if not the best out of the three Spider-Man actors, as well as there's some excellent acting in there by J.K. Simmons, who's one of my favorites. What do you think?
I really do think they did the villain really well. William Dafoe, I think he played a perfect Green Goblin, and I think for this back in movies back in the early 2000s especially, I think they definitely had some darker scenes for children movies, but still I think it was a certain boundary where they didn't really cross. But still though, I think it was rather pretty dark.
Yeah,
for a children movie.
Yeah, I feel like kids would be pretty okay with it. Green Goblin though, he's going through some pretty he's psychosis sort of he's going crazy. He's getting hallucinations and stuff.
Yeah, and it made the comeback from when he came back for the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. When he came back, that was such a great moment. 1 to 10, what would you give Spider-Man 1?
Actually, I'll give it a good 8.5.
8.5. And you?
I'd probably give it an 8. I think it was just, the fact that people loved it so much when it was called back in the new Spider-Man shows how good it was, and how Sam Raimi just really, without a lot of stuff before it, made a genuinely great superhero movie.
Yeah, especially this movie had a lot of it on its back because it was kind of basically one of the first big superhero movies.
Yeah.
And for it to be to go that well, I think that provided for a lot of the other superhero genre movies in the future.
And so you would agree that Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man out of the two?
I think we're pretty much agreeing.
I think he definitely has the best
agree
movies.
as well.
I think so.
He's the most iconic and the most authentic. Maybe that's just because he's the first one, but overall, yeah, I also give it an 8.
And I think also just it set a lot. It had it just said a lot of things that came up later in a lot of superhero movies, having a genuinely scary villain and sort of all these iconic clips and shots that we've probably seen today.
Mm-hmm.
But that stuff just really was able to inspire all the next generation of Marvel and DC and stuff that's commonplace now, but it was very original back in the day.
Well,
what'd you give it?
I gave it an 8 as well. I think that
we're pretty in agreement about the score.
The Spider-Man that came after that, I think
definitely.
doesn't compare.
Yeah, I think they definitely have some inspiration from Tobey Maguire in some ways, but I think Tobey Maguire in general, I think for how he was a little on the older side, but I think he played a really well Peter Parker. And that's the movie review, and we thank you for joining us.
On Pioneer Review.
Great, on Pioneer Review. I'm Jack.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Easton.
Thanks for watching.
See you later.